Are you aware of the role of women in the Chinese culture? Let me first clarify something with a story. Because when I was living in China, at a certain point I was staying for a while in Beijing, and I got into contact with anthropology students from the United States and Europe quite frequently. They were doing interviews with women because of female studies, women's studies. And they always came up with the same kind of dualistic questions about men and women. When I told them at a certain point, like, are you aware of the fact that in China there are traditionally 3 genders? So a lot of the people that you are asking, these are former countryside people. They still think in 3 genders. You are either a child, you're a father, or you're a mother. Of course, it is also true that Chinese culture still is very much patriarchal, but they are really trying to do their best to create equality. Taoism has this weird notion that we are all one way or the other part of nature. And that means that this plant, the tree behind me, the animals that are flying through the air or that are crawling underground like the ants and the mice are all sort of a family, and they all have, like us, they have hun and they have po, and they don't have a soul because no creature has a soul, but they have hun and po, and they are representative of heaven and earth. This is important because the po go back to the mother goddess, and at the moment when they go back to the mother goddess, they are actually reporting there in the underground realm. And of course, when you die, you might go to the underground hell, but this underground hell is ruled by man. The goddess doesn't have a hell. It is actually that what provides us health. If you think about the artificiality of life, then you can see that in cities life is much faster than in villages, and in villages it's faster than on the countryside, and in countryside it's more fast than in the wilderness. What is special about people is that we can deal with a lot more heartbeats than the average animal. The average animal has about 1 billion heartbeats in its life, and we can do more. Especially in the city, we see that we use that and we make it better. But at the moment, when we look at what is our potential in the city, if we can slow down and become more natural, we can actually have a much longer and a much better life. And the average expectation within Chinese medicine is that we have 180 years to live as a natural lifespan. If you think about the artificiality of life, when you are looking on the internet and you try to follow a particular kind of instructors or teachers online, you can very often see that they are in the prime of their life. They're like 20, 25, 30, 40, 50, and at that moment they are still in the main vitality that you can have when you are young. But at the moment when you follow these people, you cannot imitate them because they don't understand their own aging yet, and as a result that they can't help you with your aging. They only can follow what a book says, and you have to have somebody who at a certain point comes into your age range. Like in my case, I was waiting for a long time to become 60 to start teaching more experienced. I have started at 11, not lift them up to the point where I could make them understand things that belong to their aging. And this is why also in beauticians who are young and you follow their tips, that's not going to work for you when you grow older.